Hello, good morning, students. Let us continue chapter number 3, Nationalism in India. In the earlier classes, we have studied the various reasons that led to the rise of nationalism among the Indians, also the establishment of the Indian National Congress. Now, let us continue the class with the initial stages of the Indian National Congress. What was their attitude towards the British government and towards the problems that was faced by India during the British rule? Now, the initial activities of the Indian National Congress were moderate and abided by the Constitution. It included the putting of demands for more political rights, economic and social growth, development of education, among other demands, inclusion of more Indians in government services, a reduction of expenditure on military and other administrative departments, debt relief to farmers, a revival of the cottage industry, etc. were included. So the initial stages or the starting phase of Indian National Congress, as we can say, was very much moderate and it was guided by the Constitution that was put forward by the East India government or the British government. Now several demands were put forward by the members of the Indian National Congress, like granting more political rights to the Indians, economic and social growth, and also they focused on the development of education. Apart from that, there were many demands like inclusion of more Indians in the government services. The members of the Indian National Congress pressurized the British government to include more Indians in the services of the British government. Also, they suggested that there should be reduction on expenditure. Income should be there, but the expenditure that was on military and other administrative departments should be cut off, and indeed there should be a relief to the farmers. Also, the revival of the indigenous industries or cottage industries were included in the demands that were put by Indian National Congress in the initial stages of its establishment. However, the British government turned down these demands. However, these demands laid a strong foundation for the future struggle. These all demands were rejected by the British government, but these demands arise a confidence among the people that there was some political pressure on the British government to grant some kind of freedom to the Indian people. Now, the Indian National Congress passed many resolutions such as the expansion of Legislative Council and keep at least 50% of the elected representative in it at the central and regional levels. Also, they participated in the elections, and thereby they pressurized the government to keep some part, or we can say the 50% elected representative in both the central and state level. And due to all these demands that were put forward by the Indian National Congress, the British government granted more freedom to the press and granted more personal liberty and freedom of speech to the people of India. Now, the constant pressure was there from the Indian National Congress to the British government, and as a result, we saw that there was some kind of freedom that was granted by the British government to the Indians, and because of that, the youth of India at that time were inspired and they joined Indian National Congress, and thereby a sense of nationalism started to grow among the educated class of Indians. Now, the policy of divide and rule, and soon the initial support that was given by the British government to the Indian National Congress turned into hostility. The British government official used to attend the sessions of the Indian National Congress, but later on the government banned the practices. As we see the initial stages of the Indian National Congress, it was attended by the British officials also, but later on the British officials were banned from attending the session of the Indian National Congress. And one of the Governor General that came to India at that time in 1905 was Governor General Lord Curzon. He took certain steps against the interest of the national integrity and ignored the opinion of the Indians. And one of the controversial decision that was taken by the Governor General Lord Curzon was the partition of Bengal in 1905 as a policy of divide and rule. The main intention behind the partition of Bengal was to create communal tension between Hindus and Muslims and to break the sense of nationalism that was developing at that time. And it was the policy of divide and rule that was implemented by the then Governor General of India, or we can say Lord Curzon. Now the partition of Bengal 1905. As we have earlier studied in our previous classes, that Bengal used to be the biggest province of the British India. It included parts of Bihar and Odisha, and it was the biggest and the richest province at that time. So Lord Curzon divided Bengal into two parts, East and West Bengal, and the reason that he gave to the Indians was that since Bengal was a big province, so there was some difficulty that was faced by the British authorities, and the administration cannot be run efficiently and smoothly because it was a big province. But the Indians understood the main objective or motive behind the partition of Bengal, that the British government or Lord Curzon had partitioned Bengal in order to create a division between the Hindus and Muslims. And this act of Lord Curzon gave a political and national momentum and political awakening among the people. National leaders and the common people understood the intention behind the partition and opposed it intensively. In the next video, we'll see that the result of the partition of Bengal backfire among the Britishers, and the people they protested against this decision that was taken by Lord Curzon, and how it resulted in creating a sense of a strong nationalism among the Indians, and the loss that was suffered economically by the British government, all we will study in the next video.